Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So we'll wait for 5 more minutes and then we can start.
हेलो 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 सर।
Hello, hi. We are waiting for 2 more minutes and then we can start. Okay, only 26 students join. So let others also join. Okay. So how was the quiz one or qualifier exam? Easy, medium, difficult? Anyone?
That was good.
Good. Okay, great.
It was not very difficult. It was just above moderate.
Okay, just above moderate. Okay.
Little bit tricky.
Hmm.
ट्रिकी था थोड़ा सर। इंग्लिश ट्रिकी था, बाकी सब लगभग लगभग अच्छा ही था।
Okay. सही है.
जहाँ से सोचा था कि बाकी सब बहुत ट्रिकी देंगे, उस जगह पूरा घुमा दिया।
Okay. English subject में, right?
हाँ, इंग्लिश में घुमा दिया पूरा।
Okay. City was easy, right? City
हाँ, सिटी इजी
was
था।
right.
Yeah,
Okay.
अच्छा। अच्छा
in
सर।
comparison with the previous year
हम्म
questions, it was not that much difficult.
दैट मच। सर सिटी
Okay.
में वो जो रो का क्वेश्चन था, जहाँ पे आइटम्स और उसके कुछ ये दिए गए थे, वहाँ पे सर 3 ऑप्शन रॉन्ग थे ना।
का नहीं देखना पड़ेगा. देखते हैं. तुमको आंसर शीट मिल जाएगा शायद. लाइक यू विल गेट आंसर की ऑन द पोर्टल इटसेल्फ.
Hello, sir.
हाँ, हेलो.
Yes, I want to say something that
हम्म.
day before yesterday, I was looking through the week for graded assignment.
हम्म.
I saw that
Two questions
in
are
the
there. Question number 5 and 10, right?
they were actually like
हाँ. So
explanation was given was something else and the answer was something else.
Yeah, so explanation was correct. Answer we have to change, right? Options. So we
Yeah,
have done the
yeah, there was.
re-evaluation. Yeah. So you will
As
get
will
the marks for that.
okay, so we'll get our marks updated according.
Yes, yes. So explanation, whatever the answer was there in the explanation, that was correct. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Great. I think we can start now. So from today onwards, we are going to start week 5. Okay, week 5. So first 4 weeks we already discussed. Now let's discuss week 5. So okay, first, how many of you have gone through the week 5 lectures? Just raise your hand.
We have just started week 5 because
Okay,
there was we were preparing for quiz 1.
quizzes and all. Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay, no worries. So
So
we'll
two lectures
discuss.
are completed, so not much.
Okay, great, 2 lectures. So let me discuss with the basic thing. So in week 5 and week 6, we are going to deal with the least part. Okay, so what is this least data structure we have? Okay, so as of now, whatever we have discussed, like we have a variable, we said this is v equals to say 2, or let's say v equals to false, right? So this is integer, this is a string value. So we have discussed all those things in the week 1 to 4, right? Now we are going to discuss about the list. And also we have discussed about the while loop, right? In the week 1 to 4. And here we are going to discuss about the for loop now. So first, what is list? So what do you understand by list? Yes, anyone?
Sir, it are mentioned in square bracket.
Yeah. So like for defining a variable, like for this variable, this is basically 2 is assigned to that. So simply we can assign
Sequence of
the
values.
values, right? But when I say list, okay, let's say L is one of the variable, but list is what? List is represented by this square bracket. Okay, this is basically a square bracket. Okay, so here this is basically a list. So whenever the things you can see, for example, in square bracket, if I mention 2, 3, 4, so here you can see a list of numbers here. List can consist integer also, string values also, or combination of both the things. For example, 2, 3, 4, I can store A here, I can store, let's say, Raj name here. I can also store the numbers, for example, 26, right? So I can store numbers as well as strings, like any data type value I can store inside the list. But this is basically a list. Okay. So when I say L1 equals to what? This 2, 3, and say A, B, C like this. Okay. Now this is basically a list. L1 is basically a list. Okay. When I say V equals to 2, this is basically what? The data type of this particular variable is what? Integer. The data type of this particular L1 is what? List. The data type of this particular V is what? String. Okay. So how we are going to identify that the variable is list or not? By using this square bracket. Okay. So this is what we are going to discuss in this particular lecture. No, sorry, week 5. Okay. So this is the slides in week 5. Yeah, so here you can see sequence within the square bracket, that is basically a list, you can say. So 1, 2, 3 is basically a list here, right? So also in the square bracket, I am storing this string values also. And also if there is no value inside this particular square bracket, that is basically an empty list. Okay. So this is about the list. Simply a square bracket is what? A list, and we can assign it to any variable, say L, A, B, C, anything. Okay. Okay. So this is what we have discussed, right? Now the element of the list, when I say what happened? Yeah, elements. So here you can see 1, comma 3, comma 2. These are the element of the list, right? So here I have 3 elements. Here also I have 3 element, 4 element, 1, 2, 3, 4, like this, right? So the sequence, or you can say the number of element in this basically a list is what? 3. So here comes the concept of the function called a length and all those things. So that is in the week 6, but at the end of the session, I will discuss that also. Okay, so don't worry about that. So Okay, first tell me any doubt up till now, whatever we have discussed till here, list. Simply a square bracket represent a list. Okay, that's it. And we can store numbers, we can store string, we can store a combination of anything, right? List and number. Anyone, any doubt up till now?
No, sir. No.
Okay, great. For example, I have two lists now. Let's say L1 having 1 comma 13. So we have two elements. L2 is there having element 2 comma 1 7 comma 1. So I have three elements in L2. But if I want to merge these two lists, or I can say if I want to append these two lists, how I can do that? That is basically we use this double plus sign here. Very important. If I want to merge or if I want to append a two list, I use plus symbol here. Now if I say L equals to L1 plus L2 is what? Simply I can write 1 comma 13 plus here 2 17 1. So here I am merging the two lists and the output will be what? 1 comma 13 comma 2 comma 17 comma 1. Okay. So this will be my L, that is basically a list. So this is how I can merge or I can append the two lists. Now if I say this is L,
Sir, what happen if we give only 1 plus?
only one, no, 1 plus is basically arithmetic operation, that is addition, right? So
Yes,
this
sir.
represents
Yes.
addition. I cannot use this operator. This is basically addition. But if I want to merge, so I will, if I want to append, I will use double plus sign here. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it necessary to be in the same order as in the two lists?
Yes, order must be same. So 1 comma 13 here, 2 comma 17 comma 1. If I say L2 plus L1, in that case it will be like this: 2 comma 17 comma 1 comma 1 comma 13. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So order is very important in the list.
Sir,
So-
list can take repetition?
Yes, it can take repetition also. Okay. Now, if I say L1 equals to this 2 comma 3 comma 4, now what about this L1 plus I have 2, okay, let me write it again.
Sir, could you repeat about orders, sir, once again?
Orders, okay. So I have two lists L1 and L2. If I just merge like this L1 plus L2, so here first I have L1, then I am merging L2. So that will be 1 comma 13, 2, 17, 1 like this. But if I say L2 plus L1, so first list L2 is there and then I'm merging L1. So order will be 2, 17, 1, 1, 13. So both the things are different here, okay? Because order is different.
Yes, I understood, sir.
Now what about this L1 plus 2? What is the output of say L? L1 is given to me. L is there. What is the output here? Yes, anyone? What is L? What about this? Tell me.
This will be error, or it will
Yeah.
append with 2.
No, this is basically an error, or I can say invalid expression, right?
Okay.
Because the 2 is not in the list.
Yeah, 2 is not a list. 2 is just an integer, right? So if you observe in the last session what we discussed, 2 plus 2 in quotation, right? There was one example if anyone remember. And we said this is basically an invalid expression, right?
String data type.
Yeah, why it is that? Because this is integer and this is basically a string. So I cannot add two values of two different data types here. So if you observe, L1 is basically a list. 2 is basically a integer. So I cannot merge this list with the integer, right? If I want to add 2 inside this particular list L1, what I have to do? I have to put square bracket here like this. Now this will become the list. Okay. Now I can write like this L1 plus 2 in square bracket. That is basically the output will be again 2 comma 3 comma 4, and here I am now appending 2 here. Okay. So please be careful. You can see, like, if you solve the questions, you can see these type of things, right? Identify the errors. So this is one of the possible error if you observe. Okay. So I cannot append the two different data types also. List with the string, all those things we cannot do. Okay. So this is about the list one.
Sir, will you explain that why did you add last two, sir?
This one.
After
In-
2, 3, 4, and then 2.
This is the output of this particular thing. L1 plus plus, then we have 2 in square bracket.
Excuse me, sir. List denote elements in the square bracket.
Yeah. So list is basically what? A square bracket. Yeah. So
Okay,
we
sir.
use square bracket to denote the list. So if you
Okay, sir.
observe previously what I said, L1 plus plus simply 2 without the square bracket, that
Yes,
is
yes,
basically
sir.
invalid expression. I cannot merge list with the integer. But the moment
Yes, sir.
if I put the square bracket, now this will become the list. And L1 is
Yes,
the
sir.
list, so I can merge this one.
I
Okay.
got it. Okay, sir.
Okay. Great.
Sir, and there is an arithmetic operator, right, sir? So can't
Sorry?
we add plus is an arithmetic operator like addition?
No,
Can't
no.
we add
Plus
to
plus
the
is
list?
basically a merging one, right? So appending, or we can say merging two list. Merging two list, or we can say appending.
Okay.
This is similar to concatenation.
Yeah, concatenation also you can say. So plus we do in arithmetic operation, that is simply addition. Okay. So don't get confused. Even if I say this L1 plus 2, that is also a invalid thing, right? Because this is a list and this is basically integer. I cannot do addition here, right? This is also not a valid expression.
Sir,
Okay.
if we use a plus operator between two lists, so will it add both the list values?
Yes, so that you can say. So if I say L1 equals to 2 comma 13 and L2 equals to say 3 comma 2, right? And if I say L1 plus L2, so addition will not going to take place here because the number of elements should be same. Or anyway, no, addition will not take place. Okay. So we
Here
cannot say
also
that
the number of values are same in the lists.
no, it will not going to do like this. So this
So
is
it
what
will
is
be an invalid expression. It will also be.
invalid. Yeah, this is also invalid expression. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so this is about the list part, and then yeah, so extend L with the item X. So this is what we have discussed. We can add 2 in the square bracket to append this in the list L. Okay.
This double plus is there to add, or only one plus is enough?
Double
Plus.
double plus for merging or appending. Okay. One plus is
Okay.
just simple addition thing, right? Arithmetic operator.
Okay.
Yeah. So here you can see one pseudocode we have. Okay. So example is about list of a student born in May. For example, here we have May list, one variable which is initially empty. This is basically empty list, right? Now what we are doing here, while table 1 has more rows, let's consider any table having the rows with some month of the birth column, right? Read the first row X in table 1 if X dot month of birth. So that particular column, that field is equals to May, then what we are going to do, May list equals to May list plus plus that sequence number. So initially for the first iteration, this is basically empty list plus sequence number, say for example 02, right? So output will be of May list is what? 02. Now if you go for the next iteration again here like this, so whatever the next row will be there, that sequence number, so again 02 is going to get append with the next sequence number, for example 5. Okay, so in this way we are going to add 0205 like this in the list, right? So this is how we can use append operation for creating a list of people who born in the month of May. Okay, so at the last, if I just continue this while loop, what this May list will consist of? This consists of the sequence number of a student who born in the month of May. Okay, like 05 or 02 like this. So this is about the list.
Sir, is this week 5 syllabus?
Yes, week 5 only we are discussing.
Okay.
Okay. So one more example, for example, list of a student. So instead of the May, so we have just changed the condition that we have a Chennai list, which is initially empty, while table 1 has more rows. Read the first row X in table 1. If we are checking for this condition, if city is equals to Chennai, then we are going to add those sequence number inside this particular list, right? So at the end of this while loop, what we are going to get, this Chennai list will consist of a sequence number of a student who is from Chennai. That's it. Okay, simple one. Okay, now whatever we have discussed till week 4, in that we have discussed about this while operator, or sorry, I can say while a loop, right? This is the looping condition for while. But here we are going to discuss about the for loop here. Okay, for loop. Okay, and for this purpose we are going to use the keyword for each. Okay, for each x in L. So if I say L equals to this 2, 3, 4, 5 like this, so what this is saying, for each x, okay, so for each x in this particular list L. So if I have this thing to execute inside this particular block, so this is going to execute for every value of this particular list. So for each x in L, for the first iteration, the value of x will be 2. So we are going to do some operation on that. Then for the next iteration, for each x in L, the next value will be what? X equals to 3. The next iteration, the next value will be x equals to 4. Next iteration, the value will be x equals to 5. And if I go for a next iteration, I have gone through all the elements. Here I am going to stop the for loop. The
What
difference
it is
between
doing, sir? Assigning or adding? What it is doing?
no, whatever the operation we want to do with this particular thing. Okay, here I have not written that. We'll discuss
No, the
the
value. No,
example.
the value of x is what is it assigning or adding or what it is doing?
No, for every iteration we are assigning the value to x. Here we have x in L. X equals 2 for the first iteration. Then go for a next iteration. X equals to 3 for the second iteration, like this. Okay. And then
Okay,
we are
sir.
doing some operation here. So for example, if I want to find out the square of this, all the element inside this particular list, and let's say I will define it as SQL, square of L, for example. So what I'm going to do, for each x in L, I have this SQL equals to, so initially I am creating one empty list, that is SQL. So SQL plus plus.
Sir, X in elements, what does it make?
For each x in L, for every value of this in this particular list. So x equals to 2 for the first iteration, x equals to 3 for the second iteration, x equals to 4 for the third iteration, like this, for every value of this particular element, right, from this list. So for
Okay,
each x in this particular list, this is what we are saying.
Okay.
Yeah. So here you can see SQL plus SQL plus plus. Now here I am saying x square inside the square bracket. Okay. And this is what I am closing here. Now see what is happening here. For the first iteration, for each x in L, L is this basically. For the first iteration, the value of x is what? 2. SQL is initially what? Empty. So this is empty list. Plus plus. What about x square? That is 2 square. That is basically 4. So at the end of this thing, I will get 4 in the SQL list. Then I will go for a next iteration for each x in L. Now I already gone through this first element. I will go to a second element in the list, that is basically 3. So here x equals to 3 now. Again x equals to 3, SQL equals to SQL from the previous iteration, that is basically 4 plus plus x square, that is basically 3 square here. So again this will give me 4 comma 9 like this. Okay. Again I will go for a third iteration here. In this case x equals to 4. Again the same thing. From the previous iteration, I will get this list, that is 4 comma 9, and then I am going to do this operation 4 square. Okay, so that will be what?
4,
4
9,
comma 9
16.
comma 16, right? So after going through all the iterations, like for next iteration also, what I am going to get is this one, 4 comma 9 comma 16 comma 25, like this. Okay. Anyone, any doubt what I have done here?
So instead of this x, can I assign any other variable like a, b, c?
Any other variable. You can say I, you can say z, anything. Here
Yes.
also you can use I. Okay, it's not like
Sir,
that.
without using in, we can do right now, sir.
for each x in L. No, here in city we are following this particular thing. So x in this particular list. Okay, this is syntax what we are following.
Sir, no, sir. I'm saying without assigning X to L, we can directly write L, right?
No, we cannot write L. We want to access every element inside that particular list, right?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah. So here we are using for each kind of thing. Okay, for each, because we want to understand how this for loop works. Okay, but if you see in Python, we only use for x in that particular list. That's it. This is what we use in Python. Okay, but to understand how this for loop is working for a CT course, we are going to follow for each. So we will know we have to go through the each element of that particular list L. Okay, so that's why we have added each here to
Okay, sir.
understand
Okay.
how this for loop works. Yeah. So this is about the Python for x in L. So if you want to implement this, simply go to any Python editor. You can write this, just remove each from that, and you will get this answer at the end. Okay. But here in the Python, we don't have this plus plus. There is append a function is there, different one. Okay. So that's a different thing. We are not going to discuss
Sir, could you
that.
repeat just 2 minutes ago what you have said for Python?
Yeah. So in the CT, we are following this for each thing. Okay. Because we want to learn how this for loop is working. So here for each represent for each value of this particular list. Okay, so this is what we are following in CT course, but in Python only for is there, for keyword, each is not there. Okay, for x
Which is
in here.
given for our convenience, right, sir?
Yes, to understand how this for loop works. So we are following in our CT course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understood, sir.
So here what we have discussed, same thing. For each x in L, do something with x. Whatever the operation we want to do on the element of that particular list, we have to mention here. So this is what we have done here. I want to find out the list of the square of this particular element. So this is what operation I have done here. Okay. So do something.
Sir, is
with
there any
X.
difference between while loop and for loop?
Yes. I will come to that, but let me discuss this thing. If you observe in while loop, we want a condition that will become false, right? Otherwise, it will go infinitely, right? But here, this for loop will iterate for the number of times number of elements in this particular list. Okay. If list is having 10 elements, this for loop will go iterate for 10 elements only. Okay, maximum. But in the case of while loop, we want a condition that to become false. Okay. So this is about the for each in L. Okay. So it is not like that we have to use list only. We can use a sequence or a numbers as well. Sequence, list, or we can say numbers as well. Okay. So we'll discuss how it works. So here you can see for each x in this particular list, do something with x, and then we are closing this for loop here. So this is going to iterate through this entire list for every value of x. X iterates to the values in L. Now processing the list. Okay, so typically when it iterate over a list, examine, this is what we have discussed. Yeah, so here you can see all students born in May who are from Chennai. So in the previous slide, what we have discussed, first we have discussed if I want to find out the list of a student who was born in May, so simply this pseudocode will work, right? And here I have discussed if I want to find out a list of a student who is from Chennai, so this is the pseudocode for that. But now I want the list of a student who born in May and from Chennai. Okay, so here I have both the conditions. So here you can see Chennai May list, one empty list is there for each x in May list. Now what is this May list? We already calculate this May list in the previous slide. Okay, so this will consist of the sequence number of student who was born in May. Okay, born in May, right? This is what we have discussed. For each who are in Chennai list. Now what this is covered? This is basically a sequence number of a student from Chennai, right? Anyone, any doubt why this May list and Chennai list will represent? Because this is what we have discussed earlier, right? Anyone, any doubt whatever I have discussed up till now?
No, sir.
Okay, great. So here we have for loop. So this is basically what nested for loop. For loop inside the for loop, right? So for X in May list, for Y in Chennai list. So every element in the May list will be referred as X. Every element in the Chennai list will be referred as Y for this particular operation. Now what we are doing? If X equals to Y. Now tell me what we are checking here as anyone?
The student who was born in May is equals to the student who are from Chennai. That means that in Chennai, the students who are born in May.
Which variable we are checking? Student
Sequence number.
like what? Yes, sequence number, right? So this is what it is. X is also sequence number, Y is also sequence number. So we are checking if the sequence numbers are same. It means that this X is present in this May list, Y is present in Chennai list, and both are equal. So can I say that the sequence number, this will represent the student who is from Chennai and born in May? So that is what May Chennai list we are going to create, and we are going to append that particular X here. We can also add Y here because anyway, both are the same thing, right? Both are the same sequence number. So we can add X, we can add Y, that doesn't matter. We'll get the list of a student who is from Chennai, born in the month of May. Okay. So if I want to I can do like this by using a nested for loop. So both are the sequence number here. I am trying to map the sequence number. Okay. If the sequence number are same,
Can you take some example and give the output?
sorry.
Could
Sir,
you
can
get
you
an
take some examples and do the output?
Okay. So let's say I have a May list. It consists of a sequence number, say 2, 3, 7, 9, 10. So all these are the sequence number of a student who's born in the month of May. Now I have a Chennai list CL. So this is the sequence number of a student from Chennai. Okay. So here I have two lists. Both represent the sequence number of a student for this respective condition. For ML indicates May list, CL indicates from Chennai. Now what will happen for each X in May list? May list is what? 2, 3, 7, 9, 10, right? For each value of X. So X equals to 2 for the first iteration. For each Y in Chennai list. What is this Chennai list? 1, 3, 9, 15. Okay. So for the first iteration, Y will be what? 1 here. So X equals to 2, Y equals to 1. Now I'm checking this condition. If X equals to Y, is this true? 2 equals to 1? No. Now this is false. So I'm not going to do anything. I will go for a next iteration inside this inner for loop, not for a outer for loop. Now for each Y in Chennai list again, but this time the value of Y will be what? Next element. That is basically 3. Now again I am checking whether 2 is equals to Y. Again not, right? Again I will go for a next iteration. Again the value of Y will be 9. Again I will check whether 2 equals to 9. Again I will go for a next iteration. This will be 15. Again 2 equals to 15. Not. Again I will go for a next iteration. But I don't have any other element to compare. So I will exit this for loop. Then I will go to a outer for loop here. And here in the case of second iteration, the value of X will be what? 3 now. Okay. Now again same thing. Now I'm going to compare 3 with every element inside the list, Chennai list. Because what we have done previously, I have compared 2 with all the element of the list, right? Are you getting my point, what I am saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I have compared X with all the values of Y from this particular Chennai list, right? Now the value of X got changed to 3 for the next iteration. Now I'm going to compare 3 with all the values of this particular list. So here for each Y in Chennai list, so again, Y will start from the X equals to 1 only, but X is what? 3. Sorry, Y equals to 1 only. So Y equals to 1 for the first iteration. 3 equals to Y, not true. Go for a next iteration. Y is basically 3 now. Now 3 equals to 3. Yes, this is true. Now May Chennai list equals to May Chennai list, but this is initially empty. Plus X is what? 3 here. So output will be 3 like this. So go for a next iteration again, value of y will be 9, but 3 is not equals to 9. Go for next iteration, value of y will be 15, so 3 is not equals to 15. So go for a next iteration, I don't have any other element remaining, so I will exit the for loop. I will go for a outer for loop now. Now here again, the next iteration, the value of x will be what? 7 here. Now same thing, again I'm going to compare 7 with all the elements of y. But anyway, that condition is not matching, right? 7 is not present inside the list Chennai list. So anyway, we are keep iterating. We are not going to execute this one because this anyway false. Then again, I will go for a next iteration. Here will be a 9. X equals to 9. Again, I am going to compare x equals to 9 with every value of Chennai list here. But again, here we have 9. So at the end, what I am going to get, this is true. So we are going to append 9 as well. So after going through all the iterations, entire code, at the last I am going to get 3, 9. Okay. So this will be the output. Anyone, any doubt here what we have discussed?
No, sir.
No, it's clear.
Okay. So if you observe 3, 9, 3, 9. So this is what 3, 9 we got because of this condition. So in this way, we got the sequence number present in the both the list. So I can say that this 3, 9 represent the sequence number of a student who is from Chennai and born in the month of May. Okay. So this is how this for loop will work and how this nested for will work. So if I want to compare one value with every value of the other list, in that case, I have to use the nested for loop. This is what we have discussed in the last session for while loop as well, right? Nested while loop. If I want to compare one row with all the rows from that particular table, we'll go for a nested while loop. And here, if I want to compare one element with all the elements inside that particular list, we'll go for a nested for loop here, like this. So here you can see a list is a sequence of the values. Yes, write a list. So we use this a square bracket to represent the list. Combine the list using plus plus. So here x1 comma x2 plus plus y1 comma y2 y3 will be like this. Extending list L by item x. So if I want to add few items inside the list, so simply I can mention like this. But here we have to use a square bracket because this L is already a list. I don't need to mention this in the square bracket because L is already a list. So for each iterates to values in a list. So for each iterates to the value in the list, for each x in L, do something with x. So this is about the for loop. Anyone, any doubt what we have discussed in this particular up till now? What we have discussed?
Just give the summary, sir, once again.
Yeah. So first we have discussed about the list. What is this? List is basically a sequence of the values and we use square bracket to represent the list. Okay.
Yes.
So we use square bracket to represent the list and I use this plus plus operator to combine or merge the list, merge, or I can say combine, or I can say append the list.
Yes.
We also discussed that is L equals to 2 comma 3 and I have say L1 equals to L plus 2. So this is basically invalid expression because L is basically a list. So this is list, this is integer. I cannot perform any operation between two different data types. If I want to add 2 inside this particular list, what I have to do? L plus in square bracket I have to mention 2. Then I can add this 2 inside this particular list. So that will be 2 comma 3 comma 2 here. So this is about the list what we have discussed. Also we have discussed that if L2 is like this, say 1 comma 9 and L1 is 2 3 2. So L1 plus L2 and L2 plus what happened? Yeah. So L1 plus L2 and L2 plus L1. Tell me the output for both the case.
Error, sir.
So this will be 2 3 2 1 comma 9. And here it will be L2 first, 1 comma 2 3 2 like this.
Sir, they are not kept in the square brackets, right, sir?
No, L1, L2 already a list. Okay, here you can see already a list.
So we cannot add in the middle of the list. Only
In the
the
middle,
last and back end or front end. If I want to add a two, so
hmm.
in middle I cannot add it. Either can be last or front.
Yeah, so for that, directly you cannot add, but you can do some operation by using the for loop if you
Uh-huh.
want to add. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Sir, is all arithmetic operations can be possible on list?
All the arithmetic operations. So yeah, we can do that, but not like we said L1 plus L2. This is not possible, right?
But
Okay.
list is contains after all the arithmetic can be done. We need that is as a result.
Sorry, can you repeat?
This list is the result after all the operations or arithmetic adding and whatever you have been done. So list is a combined of all the elements.
Yeah, list is basically a data structure. So we use list to store a data, okay, in this particular format, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
So that's what he's asking. He's asking about arithmetic option inside the list can be possible.
Directly we
So
cannot do like this. If you want
yes,
to
yes, yes.
merge L1, L2, so what you have to do? Same thing here, okay? So here you can see just add x plus y inside that a new list, okay? And you have to go through a different thing, but you have to do some changes. You directly cannot do because this 2x is going to add in every element of this particular list, right? So we have to add few
Yeah.
more things to restrict that. Yeah.
Sir,
Yes. Yeah. Any doubt? Anyone?
So fifth week is this much only, or
Yeah. So then we have few. If you
okay,
understand, this is the basic of list, and then we have few. I think
okay,
few
okay.
pseudocodes also. Okay, so professor has discussed that. We'll quickly go through that also. 5.2.
sir,
Okay,
so can we say list is used to like compare things, not to do some operations on them, just to compare?
Comparison also, we can perform operation, we can store. So see, list is basically data structure. It is used to store the data. And if I want to use that data for my purpose, then we can use the list, right? So this is what
So
we
this
have
shopping bill is a
discussed.
list. Shopping bills,
Shopping
which
bills,
contains.
no, shopping bill is basically entire card, right? If you
Uh-huh.
see the sequence number or in the shopping bill or name of a customer, that is basically a list, you can say.
Okay, okay.
So yeah, so here we have few examples discussed in the lecture. So let me
So,
discuss
sir,
that.
inside a list, only same type of data type should be stored, right?
No, we can store different data type. 2, comma, Piyush, comma, A, comma, B, anything we can store. 21, F1, anything.
Okay.
Okay. So name as well as numbers we can store inside the list. Okay. So here we have. Yes.
What is the major difference between while and this list?
Sorry, your voice was breaking. Can you repeat?
The
What is?
difference between while and this list.
Difference between while and for loop, right?
Yes.
Okay. So here we have a while loop. Here we have a condition, right? Here we have a condition, and then we have some do something, right? So we have few piece of code that is going to get executed until this particular condition is false, right? So what we do in the case of while thing, if the condition is true, we are going to keep executing the same thing again and again for entire iteration unless this condition will become false. If the condition is false, then we will going to stop this particular while loop. Okay. But in order to make that condition false, if you observe, we have add something called I equals to I plus plus 1 if we are dealing with the numbers, or we are saying remove or move x in the next table. So we are reducing some variable here. We are reducing the value of some variable here. Reducing the value of variable. Not reducing, we can increase also. It depends on the condition, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but in the case of for loop, this for is going to iterate for each x in L. Okay, so this is basically L is basically a list, and same thing, do something here. Okay, so if I know the number of times if I want to execute this particular piece of code, or if I want to execute this piece of code on the list or say some numbers, in that scenario I can use for loop. But if I don't know how many times I need to use this particular piece of code, I will use while loop such that there should be some condition, and after my requirement gets over, that condition should become false. Okay, so here I know the number of times I need to iterate to this particular thing. Here I don't know how many times I need to iterate through this particular while loop. So that's the difference between for and while loop.
Okay, sir. I get.
Okay, so here it is we know that number of elements, so this is going to operate for number of times in the number of elements we have in this list. That's it. But here while loop is going to in the operate iterate through the this particular code until this particular condition will become false. Okay, and this is
Okay,
also
sir.
example. This is for list and this is for just for condition. Yes, anyone? Any doubt here? Anyone?
सर कैन आई स्पीक इन हिंदी?
हाँ बोलो.
सर जब तक एल में डाटा है तब तक वो एक्स एग्जीक्यूट करेगा, इसका मतलब यही है ना सर, फॉर ईच एक्स इक्वल.
यस,
थैंक यू.
जैसे ही all the elements खत्म हो जाएंगे x के थ्रू, so L will be empty, so we are going to stop the iteration. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And here if I say like while table 1 has more rows, right? So if you see this one table 1 has more rows, right? If I didn't specify this condition, this last one, so what will happen? Table 1 has more rows. So I'm going to iterate through this while loop for infinite number of times, because the rows from table will never going to become empty, because I am not going to removing any row here, right? I'm simply going through the table 1, right? So this will be infinite loop. Okay, infinite loop. So make sure the concept of infinite loop deals with the while loop. Okay. Okay. So this is
Basically, we are
a
using
sorry,
for condition for definite conditions.
definite condition.
मीन्स कोई वैल्यू तक ही हम काम चलाना होगा फोर को, तब तक फोर एग्जीक्यूट करवाएंगे, और व्हाइल लूप इनफाइनाइट कंडीशन के लिए.
Yes. Yeah. अगर कुछ like if we want to execute some piece of code for that particular condition, then we will use while loop. But if I already know I have a list or some sequence, in that case I will use for loop. Okay, simple. Okay, so let's discuss this here. So what we are trying to do here, identifying the top student, right? So here I have procedure top 3 marks, and subject is basically what? Input. So max is 0, second max is 0, third max is 0. So I have 3 variables here. While table 1 has more rows, read the row x in table 1. And here x dot subject is greater than maximum marks, right? So I am going to compare the marks from that particular subject with this max variable. Initially it is 0, right? If that is true, if this condition is true, then I am going to do like this: third max equals to second max equals to max, and max equals to x dot subject, right? And we are going to iterate through this while loop. Okay, not this one for entire while loop, but here we have just if block. If subject marks is greater than maximum, then we are going to do this. If maximum marks is greater than subject and greater than this second maximum, sorry, less than second maximum, then it is going to update this one. And if second maximum is greater than x dot subject and x dot subject greater than third maximum, then we are going to do like this. Okay, and move x to tables 2. So after going through this particular first row, I am moving that particular row to table 2. Then I am going for a next iteration inside the while loop for a next row here, right? So if I keep going through this entire while loop, tell me what this max, second max, or third max will represent. If you understand up till now whatever we have discussed from week 1 to 4.
Sir, the max will represent the highest mark obtained by the student.
Yes. Second max will represent the second highest marks obtained by the student. Third max will represent the third highest marks obtained by the student, right? For that particular subject. And how we are doing that? By taking this particular condition. Okay. So do one thing. You can take this subject. Let's say chemistry we
Yeah.
have, and here we have marks like this 30,
Excuse me,
40.
sir.
Huh? Bolo?
Sir, after if condition not getting order, after if condition, third max is equal to second max to first max. How it will execute? Third max will execute. It means for third max will be the first condition. So not getting this order, sir.
Okay, see, I have this subject, I have this rows like this, okay, 30, 40, 80, 60, 50 like this, right? So for the first iteration, what will happen? First row, that is 30, right? So x dot subject equals to 30. Max kya hai? 0, right? We have 0. So 30 greater than 0, that is true. So we are going to third max equals to second max is 0. This will be 0. Second max equals to maximum is what? 0. And max equals to x dot subject, that is basically a 30, right? So after first iteration, I got the third max as 0, second max as 0, and max as 30. Now check for this condition. Max is what? 30. 30 greater than 30, not true. So we are not going to execute. Check for this condition. Second max is 0, greater than that particular subject, not true. So go for a next iteration here. Next iteration is next row 40. Now tell me what is going to happen. What will happen here?
Next day.
The value of max is what from the previous iteration? 30, right?
40.
So 40 greater than 30?
True.
True. Third max equals to second max. What is the value of second max from previous iteration? 0. Second max equals to maximum from previous iteration? 30. And what is the value of max now? Updated to 40. Right? Again, check for this condition. Max is 40. Subject is what? Again 40. So not a true. Second max is was 30. Subject is 40. Not true. Go for a next iteration. Here it is 80. Now tell me, you have to do this third iteration.
80 greater than 40.
So this is 40. This is 30.
Increment 40.
So 80 greater than 40. Yes. So what about the third maximum now? What is the value of third maximum here? That is equals to second maximum, right? From the
30.
previous iteration, that will be 30. What about second maximum? From the previous iteration, it was 40. So it will get updated to 40. And what about maximum?
80.
That is basically x dot subject 80. Anyway, not true, not true. Go for next iteration. Now this is very interesting. 60. Now do for 60.
$60 greater than 80 is false.
60 greater than 40, is that true or false? Sorry,
Maximum
80, right?
is 80. True.
False.
This is false, right?
Yeah.
We don't need to do anything. Go for this one now. 80 greater than 60.
60. Yes.
Yes, true.
But and is there. What about this one?
Both
Subject marks
conditions should true. 80 greater than
40, right? So this is true now. What about third maximum? Going to update by second maximum.
40.
So, what? 40, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, 40. So this will be 40. And second maximum is basically what? X dot subject.
60.
That is basically a 60. So see what is happening here. My first maximum is what? 80. Now here second maximum got updated to 60. Previously it was 40, right? And this condition will not become true, I guess. So second maximum is what? 40 greater than 80. No, not true. So go for next iteration, you will get this 50. So at the end, what we are going to get? Maximum is what? 80. Second maximum is what? 60. And third maximum is what? 50, right? So if you go for a next iteration, you are going to get this as an answer. So please try to solve by your own. Take this procedure as an input, take this table and try to execute this particular code. You should get this as an answer. Okay. So please try to do by your own. So this is how this pseudocode is working. Okay. So this is how we can find out the third highest marks in the subject. So actually it is returning the third maximum here. Okay. But why we are learning this? This is what we have discussed in week 1 to 4. Now, how we can implement this using the list? This is what we have to do. Okay, this is the procedure. Okay. Anyone, any doubt in this procedure? How it is working?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So this is
This
for
is a third week problem, right? The price problem on the same.
yeah. Yes, yes.
So what is
So
the
here,
difference here? It's a list only.
no, here we are not dealing with the list. Simply a procedure. We are
Okay.
finding out the third maximum here, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
this procedure is going to find out the third highest marks in that subject. If it is for
Okay.
chemistry, then chemistry, for maths. Okay.
Got
So
it.
here what we are doing here now, cut off maths, cut off physics, cut off chemistry. Top 3 marks is the procedure and we are taking mathematics as an input, here physics as an input, here chemistry as an input. So if you observe for these 3 variables, what we are going to get, cutoff of math is what? Third highest marks in mathematics, third highest marks in physics, third highest marks in chemistry. Can I say like this? Because it is going to return the third maximum value, right? So procedure for third highest marks in a subject. So I am simply taking mathematics, physics, chemistry, and I am calling that particular procedure. So this will give me third highest marks in mathematics. This will give me third highest marks in physics. This will give me third highest marks in chemistry. Okay. And we are going to store
sir.
in this particular variable. Okay. Now what we are doing here, we have empty list, maths, physics, chemistry. All 3 are the list. How I have identified that these are the list? Because of this square bracket. Okay. If I say what is this, not just because of name, here it is a square bracket. So I can say these are the variables having the data type list. Yeah. Now what we are doing here, while table 1 has more rows, read the first row X in table 1, X dot mathematics. Now we are checking the mathematics marks is greater than or equals to cutoff mathematics. Then math list equals to math list plus sequence number. Now tell me, if you understand this one, what this math list will store?
The
Sequence number of those students who passed cutoff or equal to cutoff number.
Okay. I can say like this also. This math list which consists of the sequence number of a student who got more than or equals to the marks than third, like third highest student, right?
Basically,
Yes,
it
sir.
is
Yes,
first
sir.
and
Cutoff
second
basically
highest
third
marks.
highest only, na? Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Same for physics. We are comparing for mathematics. We are comparing for physics. So physics list will store the sequence number of a student who cleared this cutoff marks. Cutoff basically got more marks than the third highest student. And here chemistry is what this one like this. And we are moving that to a table 2. So here I got a 3 different list here. So for each subject, check if the marks are within the top 3. If so, append to the list for that particular subject. Now at the end of this while loop, can I say that math list, physics list, chemistry list will consist of the list of the sequence number of top 3 students for respective subjects?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, it will contain people who have cleared the cutoff.
Yeah, so cutoff marks,
So
but
it
cutoff
may
marks
be,
is
but equal to sign is there.
equal to sign
Greater
is
than
there,
or
na?
equal to.
Greater than equals to. So cutoff marks greater than or equals to, right? Third highest, second highest, and the first highest. So can I say check if marks are within the top 3? If so, open the list for that subject. So I can say that math list which consists of a sequence number of a student, uh, first 3 toppers in the maths. Okay, I can say like this for maths, physics, and chemistry. So all the 3 lists will consist of the first 3 toppers in the respective subject. Okay, we are going to store their sequence number. Now what professor discussed? Yeah. So this is about the maths, physics, and chemistry. So we are storing in the list toppers, like top 3 toppers from that particular subject. Now what we are going to do here? First, find the student who are topper in maths and physics. So if I want to find out the overall topper, I am going to find out the first mathematics and physics. So how we are going to do that? Math list, and initially it is empty. So here we have for each x in math list, for each y in physics list. If x equals to y, then we are going to append that particular element inside that maths physics list. So when this condition will become true, what I can say about this x equals to y? Yes, anyone? What is the reasoning behind this?
The same marks means whoever topper, we have to get that.
X and y is not a marks here. It is a sequence number, right?
Okay, okay.
So it is a sequence number
Same
of a
student.
yes, same student.
Same student, yeah.
Yeah. So sequence number of a student who got top, like who is in the top 3 in the math as well as in physics, right? In both the subject, he is in the top 3 list, right? It can be anything. Let's say I have a math list, physics list, chemistry list. Sequence number is what? 2, 3, 5. Here I have 2, 4, 6, and here I have 2, 5, 1, like this. Okay. So it has a sequence number of a student who got marks, who got top 3 marks in the respective subject. Now, how this is working here? Same thing, nested for loop for each x in mathematics. So x equals to what? 2. For each y in physics list, y equals to what? 2. So x equals to y, that is true. So we are going to store in that particular maths physics list which is initially empty plus 2. That is basically a 2 here, right? Again, I will iterate to entire physics list. Y equals to 4, not true. Y equals to 6, not true. Go for outer list. Now here x equals to 3. Again, I need to compare with all the element of physics list. So at the end of this particular pseudocode, I am going to get 2. Same thing what we have discussed earlier, same code here, okay? So here I can say that sequence number, like student having sequence numbers 2, who got highest, like top 3 highest marks, not top 3, yeah. He's in the top 3 in mathematics as well as physics, okay? So here I got the sequence number 2. Now what we are doing here, again, this is for maths and physics, and here we are finding for maths, physics, chemistry. So then match these toppers with the toppers in the chemistry marks. So first I have finded out the toppers from the 2 subjects, maths and physics. Now I am trying to map with the chemistry one. So here for each x in maths, physics list, and what we got? 2. Only one element is there, right? 2. Here chemistry list is what? 2, 5, 1. Again, we are going for a for loop. We are going to check this condition for every value of x and y. So we have one mapping condition here for this 2. So at the end, what I'm going to get? This empty list. Again, plus 2, because this condition will get satisfied for x equals to 2 and y equals to 2. Sorry.
Instead of doing this, writing the code twice, if we could write a 3 times nested code, it would be easier, right?
3 time nested code, yeah, that is also we can do. Yes.
And sir, what if 2 is not there in the chemistry?
Sorry.
If 2 is not there in the chemistry, what will we do?
If 2
So,
is not in,
there cannot be a condition for each x in maths list for that is for each y in physics list and for each z in chemistry list if x equals to y equals to z. Can something like that happen?
yeah, we can do that as well. Yeah. So you mean to say we can write for each z in physics list, and then we are comparing x equals to y and y equals to z like this, right?
Yes.
Sir, what if 2 is not in the chemistry list?
If 2 is not in the chemistry list, then this is going to give us empty output. Empty list will be there. Okay. But here our requirement is to find the overall toppers, right? So we can use this to find out the overall toppers. But I hope you understand how this for loop and nested for loop is working, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So lists are some useful to collect items that shares some property. Okay. So this is regarding the list. Week 6 is also about the list. In that we have some different functions. So I will explain that. It will not take too much time, but easy to understand, right? So this is about the lecture or week 5. In week 5, we have one tutorial 5.1. So you can just go through that. That will consist of all the functions. So let me discuss that also. So here
Sir,
we
I'm
can,
having a doubt in activity questions, sir.
yeah, let me discuss this first, then we can take your doubt. Okay. Yeah. So here I have few functions. If you understand what list is, now let's understand this function. Very, very important. You are not going to get this type of questions. You can expect the question using these particular functions on the list, right? Now I have this list L having element 2, 3, 5, 9, 1 like this. Okay. When I say length of L, what this length of L is going to give me, it is going to find out the number of element in the list. Number of elements in list L. So if I say length of L, so how many elements I have?
5.
So output will
5.
be 5. That is integer output, right? So output will be 5 only. So length is simply a function that will give me number of element inside that list. That's it. Okay. If I have 10 elements, so length of that particular list will be 10. That's it. So length is a function. It is used to find out number of element in the list L. Okay. Now, why we are learning this length L? Whatever we have discussed here, what we have discussed earlier, where we have discussed, we have find it out the square of each element, right? Okay. Okay. So here we have find it out the square of all the element as a list here, right? 4, 9, 16, 25, but using a for loop. If I want to do using a while loop, so here I can do like this. Let me use a different color here. While I is less than or equals to length of L, okay? So I'm going to do this, but again here I can go for a for loop because I want to access this particular thing. But if you want to do some code here, like execute some code here for number of times, the number of elements we have, in that scenario we can use this len function, and here I can use I equals to I plus 1 like this. Okay, so here the while loop will get closed. So this is while loop is going to execute the number of times for the number of elements we have this in the length, so in this list L. So I can use this len function inside the while loop to iterate this particular piece of code this number of times. Okay, because length of L will give me integer value, right? Number of element inside that particular list. Okay. So this is about the length function. Please remember, very, very important functions. What about first of L? When I say first of L, so this is going to give me first element of the list. What is first element of the list? 2. Okay. Simply the first element of the list is what? 2 here. What about the last one? Tell me, last of L?
1.
Last of L is 1. Last element of the list. So first L will give me first element of list. This will give me last element of list. What about rest of L? So as name said, rest of L. So this is going to give me the list. Okay. List. What I can write like
Without first and
List
last.
yes.
containing all the values which are not
List
in.
consists of all element except the first one. Element except the first one. So except first element, all will be there in the list. For example, for this list, output will be what? 3, 5, 9, 1. So rest will exclude the first element, I can say, in the list. But output will be a
Consider
list.
the last one, sir. That means
Sorry?
except first and last. Rest means.
Yeah. So first element, last element, rest means what? Except the first one. And init means what? Initial. So except the last one. Okay. Except the last element. So this is basically output will be what? 2, 3, 5, 9. Okay. So this is what I can write, except first element. And here except the last element. Okay. So but the output is list, and here the output is that particular element. Okay. Anyone, any doubt in this particular function? Length, first, last, rest, init. Student get confused
No,
between these two. Please remember, you can revise this one. Okay. Now, what about the member L comma E? Okay. Member L comma E. So when I say member L 12, so what is going to do? What this function is going to do? Yeah. So here we are checking whether E is a member of this list or not. Whether E is a member of list or not. So what I said, member of a list or not. So it means the output will be what? Either true or false, right? The output of this particular function will be either true or false, because here we are simply checking whether E is a member of this particular list or not. If I say member L comma 12, and if you see, do we have 12 inside this particular list? No. So output will be false. If I say member L comma 5, 5 is a member of this list?
True.
Yes.
True.
So output will be true. Okay. So very important function, member. We can also write sometimes not of this. So in that scenario, the output will be what? Not of this particular true, that will be a false, right? So not of true will be what? False. So we can use this thing in the question. So please be careful. Okay. So this is about the functions we have in the list. So rest, you can go through the tutorials, very nicely explained. You
Sir,
can
one-
simply watch this
So one
tutorial.
could second, yeah, here.
Yes.
Done, sir. No, I wanted to take a screenshot.
Okay. So this slide is already there in the supplementary content. Okay. All the slide what I
Sir,
have
you,
explained.
for 1 comma 5, you have written not member of 1 comma 5, sir. No, sorry, L comma 5.
will not discuss this not one. Okay, not is simply opposite of whatever we get. Okay, so you can just take the screenshot now. So 5 is a member of this list, so that will be true. 12 is not a member of the list, so that will be false. If I simply said not of that particular thing, so opposite of that. That's it.
So for L comma 12, can we say if it is not member of L comma 12 is true for not function?
Yeah, if I just add not here, so output will be not of false, that will be true. Okay,
Okay,
like
sir.
this.
Done, sir.
Sir, genuine doubts, sir.
Yes.
Sir, is this exact code that will be used in programming language, sir? Or
Exact,
is it just like,
can you repeat?
sir, is it exact codes of length or we will use in programming language?
No, in Python, we don't write, we just simply use len, that is a function, and we don't have this in Python. Okay, this is just to understand how the pseudocode works. Okay, so in list, we deals with the index value in Python. So we are going to learn that in Python. Okay, so don't worry about it.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So that's it. In the week 5, we don't have anything. We have more thing in the week 6 regarding the list and other things. Okay. So week 4, sorry, not 4, 5, 6, 7 is basically a list and a dictionary. Very important one, list and a dictionary. Okay. So after the week 4, we are going to deal with the list and dictionary in every question. So please understand the basic of this particular things. So we have discussed entire week 5. If you have any question, you can just ask now.
Sir, can you explain
Sir,
once?
when will we study a Python course? Sir?
So once you clear the qualifier and clear the CT course, then you can go for Python.
Oh, in December after clearing.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, any question?
So can you explain once that the top 3 class of you were explained right before this one?
Top 3, okay.
Yeah.
Any doubt in this one?
Okay, yeah. This one, right? So the cutoff marks, top 3 marks, right? So we are getting, I mean, the values, right? From where do we get these values? I mean, the top, yeah.
So here we have using top 3 marks as a function. So here we have discussed that function here, top 3 marks. Okay.
Okay.
We are calling this particular procedure, and what this is doing, it is going to take the subject as input, and it is going to return the third maximum value from that particular subject. So this procedure is going to do calculate the third highest marks in that particular subject. So if I simply call that procedure and take the mathematics as an input, so this will give me third highest marks in mathematics. This will give me third highest marks in physics and for chemistry, like this. Okay.
Okay. Got it.
So we already discussed this thing. You can watch the recording. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
Sir, you discuss about activity questions now.
Yes. Which
5
question?
Activity 5.2, 4th and 5th, sir.
Okay, 5.2. So simple. In the week 5, this is what we have. Rest is just how we can solve the question, how you understand the concept. That's it. 5.2, right?
Yes, sir. Fourth question.
Just a second. What happened? Fourth question. 4th and 5th.
Yes, sir.
Let me take the screenshot of this and then we can discuss. Sharing. Yeah, is this visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what will be the value of L2? So L1 is given to us. L2 is basically empty for each x in L1. So for every value of element in this particular list L1, what we are going to do, L2 equals to, in square bracket we have x plus L2, but L2 is initially empty, right? So for the first iteration, the value of x will be what? 13. So, right? So for each x equals to 13, so L2 will be what? 13 plus L2. L2 is initially empty. So answer will be what? 13, right? Go for next iteration, x in L1. Now next element is what? 35. Now 35 again. So x is what? 35 plus what is L2 from the previous iteration? 13. That will be a 35 comma 13. So we are simply reversing this particular list. Okay. So we are going to add the element in the reverse order because of this plus thing. So first we are adding the element and then we are merging with that particular.
One step back, sir. I am confused in that step only.
Yeah. So what we are doing here, we are reversing that particular element. Okay. Sorry, that particular list. So if you observe, first we are taking that particular element and then we are merging with the list. So for the first iteration, 13 was there because initially it is empty, so we cannot see the difference. But if you go for a second iteration, x will be 35, right? Next element. Now 35 in square bracket plus L2 from the previous iteration is what? 13. So that will be 35 comma 13. Now if you go for a third iteration, value of x will be what? 67 here. Now what will happen for 67? Same thing. X is what? 67 in the list plus L2 from the previous iteration. This one 35 comma 13. So answer will be 67 comma 35 comma 13. We are simply adding the element reverse order in L2. Okay.
Oh,
So
sir,
answer will be this one, right? 94.
so
Yes.
we cannot write it according to the L1, just 13, 35, 67, 89, 89.
For
Order
that,
is
you have to
important
write
here.
this one, L2 plus x. In
Oh,
that scenario, L1 and L2 will be same. Okay. So
okay,
this
sir.
is what I said earlier. L1 plus L2 and L2 plus L1 both are different, right? Order is important. So question is based on that only. Okay.
So the
Simply we are
order
reversing.
changes, right?
Yeah. So this is in the reverse order of this L1. L2 will give me 94, 89, 67, 35, 13 like this. Okay.
So each this condition done, so L2 is getting different by different, right? So each
Yeah.
time it's get different values.
Yeah. So every time for every value of x, we are going to add one element inside this L2 in the reverse order like this. First 13, then
Okay.
it will become 35 comma 13, then it will become 65 comma 35, then it will become 89 comma like this. And at the last, this one.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Question number 5 also, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, even question number 5, sir.
Yeah, question number 5. I'm taking the screenshot. So what will the value of C? X? What happened? Okay. So here also, now tell me what is the output or the correct answer for this question. So here we need to find out the value of C here, right? Which is the correct value of C. Now you have to solve this question.
What is index?
Sorry?
What is
This is
Index.
Index is just a variable which is initialized to 0. C is the variable initialized to empty list. So C is the empty list. Index is A is basically just a 0 initialized to
So
0.
what is Z?
Okay.
What is?
Z.
Where is Z?
C plus Z in square brackets. C equals to yeah.
Z
Okay.
equals to X plus Y.
Yeah. Okay. Sir.
Yeah. Tell
A
me the
is the
answer.
correct answer, sir. A is the correct answer.
A. Yeah, A is the correct one. So see what we are doing here. We have A and B as a two list. Index A is just a variable initialized to 0. C is a variable initialized to empty list. Okay. And for each X in A, index B equals to 0. Okay. For each Y in B, so Y is basically B. So index A equals to index B. So initially both index A and index B are 0. So this is true. We are checking Z equals to X plus Y. Not checking, we are doing the operation. So Z equals to X plus Y. X is what? 1. Y is what? 1. So 1 plus 1 will be what? 2. So value of Z is 2. C equals to C plus Z. Empty list initially plus 2. So output will be 2. Then I have, after if I have increased the index B to B plus 1, then go for the next iteration. See here the indentation part, right? I am not going for this one because first I need to complete the for loop, then I can go for this index A. So indentation is very important here. Now next iteration, the value of Y will be what? 2 here. But the index A is what? 0. And index B
1
is
no, sir.
what?
It will become 1 no, sir. For index.
Sorry. What one?
Like it won't be
Index B, 1, right?
yeah. 1 plus
Yeah.
0
No,
plus 1.
0 plus 1, 1, right?
Yes,
If I
sir.
go for next iteration, the value of Y will be what? 2. But index A is 0 and index B is 1. So not true. So we are not going to do anything. Again, index, we are going to increment by 1. So even if you go for any all the conditions, this is basically 0 and we are not going to get it equal to this again. So this is after the first iteration. Now I'm
So
going to increment the index A to 1 now.
so
Then
the
I'm going for
operation is
outer
in
for.
so the sir
Yes.
operation is invalid.
Which invalid operation? No invalid operation here. Which one?
That is the first option correct.
Yeah, first option is correct here. So what we are doing here, we are trying to match the index value. If index is same, then we are going to do a addition between those two element of that particular index, and then we are going to store in the list C. Okay. So
Yes,
first
sir,
we
got
have
it now.
got for
Can
0,
I
0.
ask a question, sir?
Sir,
Okay, this is
index
clear to everyone.
index is it order here or a element number or element?
Which one? Index?
Sir, what is index here, sir? Is it order or a element, sir?
So index A and B is a variable here for this pseudocode, but what it's actually doing, so this is basically 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here also 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are considering the position of that particular element. So 0th position is basically first position here. First element is basically second position here, like this. Okay. So indexing with here like this. So but for this particular pseudocode, we are considering this as variable. But this is what actually happening here. If the index is same, then we are simply going to do addition. So 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 2, 4, 3 plus 3, 6, 4 plus 4, 8, 5 plus 5, 10, like this. Okay. So index is a variable here. Okay. We are simply initialize this to 0, and then we are checking for this condition. For the index 0, for the first iteration, it will get matched, but after that, it is not going to get matched because index A will still become 0 for this entire loop. Once we over this particular entire loop, I will go for this particular line. Now here I'm going to update the value of index A to 1. Now go for the outer for loop here. Now here the value of X will be 2, right? Index B is still 0 now. Index Y in B, so Y is 1. And now index A is what? 1. Equals to 0. Not true. Index B increment by 1. So that is basically a 1. Go for a next iteration. Y is basically what? 2 here. Index A is 1. Index B also got 1 increment to 1. So 1 is equals to 1. Then we are going to do addition. So Y is 2, X is 2. So that is 4 basically. So we are going to add this. Okay. So please try to solve this question by your own. Okay, how this code is working. Anyone any doubt in this pseudocode, how it is working?
Oh, sir, now I
Yes, sir.
understood.
Yeah.
Sir, one doubt, if we remove the index variables, both the index variables, then what will be the output?
If you remove this index variable, so here is also condition, right? So even if you remove this particular condition,
Yes,
so what
sir.
is going
Yes.
to happen? So in that scenario, 1, the value of x will be 1, the value of y will be 1 for the first iteration. So output will be like this. In z, 1 plus 1, that is 2. And again, we are going for next element. So that will be what? 1 plus 2, that will be 3. So 2 comma 3 comma 4. So 1 is going to get add with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the outer, then go for outer for loop. Then 2 is going to get add with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then again for the next iteration, 3 is going to get add with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And every
Okay.
set
Understood.
value is going to add in the list like this. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, great. Anyone, any other doubt? This is what we have in week 5. If you understand this one, then that is enough for week 5. You can solve all the practice assignment questions, activity questions, grade assignment questions. Okay. Just the logic is this only. So you should know how to solve those questions.
Sir, can you show me the last page once again?
Last
I mean
example, what we discussed.
Yeah, the last page example.
Yeah.
So here the second loop, right, for each, I mean that will okay, first time it will take the value for index A, then compare all the indexes, right, for B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean there's a inner loop. Once that's completed, then it will increment and it will pick number 2. Am I right?
Yes. So after first iteration of inner loop, index A will get increment to 1. And the index B will be 0 for the first iteration. So here we are going to increment the value of this variable and try to map with this particular index 1. Okay.
Okay.
And when this condition is true, then we are going to do a summation of that. So 1 plus 1 is what? 2 plus 2 here, that is 4.
Okay.
Yeah. So please try to solve this question again after the session. Okay. So solve this step by step for every iteration of y and this x. Okay. So please solve this question. What will happen if I remove this index B entire condition? Simply this thing, what is the output of z? So what I said, 1 will get add here again with all the element like this. Again, 2 will get add in the all the element like this. So that is what we are going to store in the C. Okay.
I basically, sir.
I, yes.
Then sir, option 3 will be correct. If you remove these 2 lines.
No. Option 3 will not be correct. It will consist of
25 elements.
25 elements. Yeah, correct.
तो तब तो यहाँ पे सर ये करना पड़ेगा, एपीजीपी लगा के निकलना पड़ेगा.
No,
कितना एलिमेंट आएगा?
Simply we are finding what is the value of C here, right? That's it. If I remove this one, remove this one, remove this one, with the value of the length of C, in that case, your answer should be 25. Okay. See, here I have only make one question, simple one. If I just simply remove this, what will the value of length of C after execution of this pseudocode? That will be 25 elements. So 1 is going to add with all the 5 elements. 5 elements will be added in the list. Again, 2 is going to add with all the 5 elements. Again, 5 elements. So in this way, 25 elements will be there. Okay. Okay, great. That's it. Try to solve this question by your own.
Sir, one academic doubt, sir. Sir, the marks of quiz 1 and quiz 2, how can it be added to the end term?
For that, you have to go to grading documents available on your portal. Everything is there. Formula is there, end term formula. So just go to that.
If there is any subject that I got not get over the cutoff marks, then it will be added to the end term or not? In quiz 1, can I cover it in quiz 2?
Sorry, are you a qualifier student or term student?
No, term student.
Yeah, so your quiz 1 marks is going to get considered and quiz 2 as well. So just go to that particular formula. Okay. So we have two formulas, whatever the maximum of that, we are going to consider that only.
So
When
if
the
I
answer going to be
qualify,
released?
Answer sheet by tomorrow, you can expect.
Okay.
Yeah. So on the left hand side on your portal, you can see answer
Tomorrow
key for
morning
all
or
the
evening?
subjects. That I don't know, but team will
Okay.
release tomorrow.
sir, if I qualify a student below the cutoff, is it unqualified, sir?
Yeah. If you get less than 40 marks, then you are not qualified the city course, right?
Then we are unable to write the quiz to write, sir.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
सर और टर्म स्टूडेंट के लिए
टर्म स्टूडेंट के लिए वो देना है कंपलसरी है क्विज 1 क्विज 2 एंड टर्म।
कंपलसरी अगर क्विज वन में किसी सब्जेक्ट में अगर कट ऑफ नहीं क्लियर हुआ तो
चलेगा, कोई इशू नहीं है। वो अकॉर्डिंग टू फॉर्मूला जो है पोर्टल पे, उसका अकॉर्डिंग तुमको फाइनल मार्क्स मिलेंगे।
अच्छा सर, क्योंकि सर देखिए कि एक नया सिस्टम है डेटा साइंस का, इसमें एडॉप्ट करने में भी थोड़ा टाइम लग जाता है।
Yeah, okay. So for all the courses, we have different grading formula. So please go through the grading document. Okay, great. So please go through the lectures for week 5. Like I know you have not gone through because of quiz 1, but if you understand what we have discussed, you can try to solve the question as well. No issue. But please go through the lectures. In lecture, professor has discussed why we are doing that. Okay, why it is required. I have just explained how to do that, but why and why it is required, you will get the answer in the lectures. Okay, that's it from my side. If you have any question, you can ask.
Sir, can we leave if you are done? Like, is the lecture
Yes,
over?
I am done with this session. You can ask if you need help.
Thank you.
So any practice assignment question you can discuss.
No, we are going to discuss in Friday's session.
Okay.
We have deadline
Sir,
on
you will
Wednesday.
teach only week 5, not week 6. You said I will just give a summary of both the weeks.
No, I have just covered the functions. Week 6 also we'll discuss next week. Don't worry.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, then that's it from my side. Thank you. Please watch lecture, all the lectures of week 5 and try to solve, practice and get the assignment questions. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thanks.
थैंक यू सर।
Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir.